Well, right now, a new Cold War of sorts is brewing, this one over icebreakers in the Arctic. Polar ice is retreating, opening up the possibility of new shipping lanes and even oil exploration. Russia has 25 icebreakers patrolling the North Pole region. The United States has only 2. Dan Springer, live from Seattle with more on that. Dan.
Yeah, John, that imbalance has some worry that the U.S. is falling so far behind Russia and even China now that it poses a national security threat. But icebreakers don't come cheap, and the Pentagon is in serious cost-cutting mode. Permanent sea ice has been receding around the North Pole since the 1970s. It's led to countries staking claims to what amounts to a brand new ocean. China isn't even an Arctic nation, and it now has 2 new icebreakers, while Russia, as you said, has 25, including 6 that are nuclear-powered. The U.S. Coast Guard says it needs 6 just to be able to handle all the increased traffic in the Arctic, from research vessels to offshore oil drilling rigs. Alaska Senator Mark Begich has been a critic of the Obama administration over its refusal to fund a single new icebreaker, which he says could head off trouble in the future.
We want to make sure we are there. Sometimes having the right equipment is a great deterrence, but also with all the new development going on and the unsettled law of the sea, let's make sure we have the right balance up there.
The holdup is cost. A new icebreaker runs nearly $800 million. Even a retrofit to an existing ship costs about $300 million. And right now the Pentagon is cutting spending by $31 billion this year and even more next year. Critics say there's no immediate military need, and the Coast Guard and Navy should not be an escort service for oil and shipping companies.
I think if the Pentagon wants to spend more than $1 billion on new ships and retrofits, something else is going to have to give. I mean, they're supposed to be reducing their budget. The Navy's already got more ships on its plate than it can afford.
And there is a bill introduced in the House that would fund a retrofit for a 3rd icebreaker in the U.S. John?
Yeah, keep us updated. Interesting story. Dan Springer.
Yeah.
Thanks.